Hello Mom and Dad Meet World. So we are going to balance the RS3 Mini on this Sony a7 IV with the 28mm and the ultra-wide converter to 21mm. That is already on here, and we're going to try to make sure it's going to fit on this RS3 Mini. So let us start attaching this guy. Lock it in place right here. So you want to make sure that you have the camera right here set up to the way you're going to shoot. If you're going to shoot with the screen out, have the screen out, but I typically shoot with the screen in. So we're going to do that right there. Let me lock this real quick so it doesn't go anywhere for the time being. Right here, and this looks like it's already locked right there. So what we're going to do, so I've got this facing you right there. Let's start by getting the left to right going. Ooh, you see that? We are way off. So we're going to unlock this back one right here and then just move it to where it can balance without going either left or right. So depending on how balanced or not balanced the camera is, what you'll want to do is lock off all the other axes except for this one that I'm playing with right here. And you'll want to just make sure that you either move it left or right depending on how the camera is balancing. You see I'm just making small micro adjustments until that camera does not move left or right. Okay. So we're going to lock this in place. Okay. Let us unlock this one right here. We're going to balance this guy. So right here. So I've got it mounted up, pulling towards me or pushing it away from me. We're going to want to make sure this points straight up. And then once you make sure it does not move, we can lock that right into place just like that. It's pretty good. Lock that into place. Change the balance here, the forward backward. Yeah, so I'm just making small little adjustments, moving it away from me or towards me. This is on the top section. That's pretty good. Just to make sure it's perfectly balanced, and it'll stay perfectly balanced the other way too. Okay, last adjustment is going to be this one right here. So how forward or backward will this go? So what we're doing here is we want to adjust it. So here's 4. Look at that, that's too much, way too much. So we're going from right here. We're just going to bring it back. So let's go down to 3. We want to make sure that when we tilt it up that it's not going to go anywhere. 2. 2's a little too much still. I'm just lining it up with a red arrow right here. Let's go to 1.5. So as you make the adjustments, you can either move it slower like I did or move it more drastic and see where it will fall in between. This was on the extreme side because this lens is extremely front heavy, and that's why I had to move it so far up. So you'll want to take pictures or make markings of this particular setting, and all the settings really, in case you switch lens.
Almost. It's getting there. It's getting slower. Let's go to a half.
So as I tilt this up and forward, take a look at that movement. There's hardly any movement, and that's exactly what you want right there.
I think that is about it. That is about the 1/2 inch hash mark right down here. So when we move up on it, it doesn't move. So good left to right. This is good right here. We're stable. So let's get this hooked up here. So we'll go into the DJI app. We're gonna connect. Hit the connect button. Turn this on. Tap on the device. So it wants me to enter the password. So it says here it's going to be 12345678. Make sure that's very secure. So here we are. And so what we're going to do here is let us run a calibration. So I'm going to go on here and we're going to go to start calibration. Let me get this sat down here. Just about done right there. Calibration complete. So from here, we're going to go back to the app. We are connected. So what we're going to do from here is we're going to run a balance test. So it wants me to tilt this gimbal. It says here I'm at 12 degrees and 15 degrees, so let's balance about 18.
So when you perform the balance test, it wants you to pick up the gimbal slightly and tilt it at least 15 degrees or greater, and it'll actually show you right there on the app. And when it's doing that, it's performing this test where it goes from the bottom left to the top right, the camera being, and it's just making sure everything's balanced.
There we are. Excellent. So this guy right here is totally balanced.